I felt like I'm pretty confident now we have been set up for more seasons of this series. Not just because we're finding out that the Croat is not the big bad. There is somebody above him. But in addition to that, there are other gangs. Because the Croat is on the same level as that woman that was outside of the Dama's door. She's another gang leader. So
gangs of New York.
This is kind of what I was going at when I mentioned. I believe it was last episode.
edition.
I believe it was last episode with Mark and Kelly that I brought this up. That if they were to bring up a season 2, I would like to see. Ultimately, or maybe it was with Gemma and Cassie. I brought this up 2 weeks ago. I kind of mentioned like how we need a Moriarty to this whole story. Somebody who's really pulling all the strings, but that you don't really see. And it seems like the Dama might be that person.
Yeah.
Because now she has underlings.
Why does she want Negan though? That's my question. What does she have with Negan?
Every queen needs a king.
Okay.
God,
that's weird, but okay.
Negan does have a thing for powerful
Alpha.
Yeah.
Alpha 2.0.
Yep.
Every queen needs a king.
Ooh,
and
that's weird, but
okay. That could be it. I mean, but then again, too, because I'm trying to think back, and I can't really recollect it. We know that the Croat has trying to find Negan, but was he trying to kill Negan? That's the question.
It seemed like, right, okay, the Croat wants revenge because Negan, tried to kill him but blew off his ear, but then the Croat's like, that's okay, I got another one. And then, he was almost shocked that, Negan didn't want to talk to him. And so, I think the Croat wanted to, be reunited, and it feels so good.
He's still with fanboying over Negan.
I feel like if you kind of look back, and I might do a complete rewatch of the first 5 episodes before the finale just to see if maybe this is something I can pick up on. But I'm wondering if almost maybe this is not a chase to kill Negan. This is a chase to recruit Negan.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was very intentional.
Is Negan going to be the Dama's concubine? Negan had his own. It's going to be a flip.
I don't know.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. I'm very curious where they're going to go with this finale.
Yeah. Oh.
I really am.
Yep.
I thought it was funny when the court was like, "Oh, Simon, he never really listened to you."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, someone was jealous of Simon's position."
Oh yeah.
So I'm very curious now because again, I'm going to have to go back and rewatch to see if there was ever any intent to kill Negan, or if this was just a chase because he's needed for something else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it seems like they kind of want to pull Pearlie into the mix now too, because Pearlie's the law. They have that conversation.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they have that conversation that they knew eventually people would try and come in and bring the old ways back, and I think that's almost how they worded it, meaning they're going to try and bring law back to the world. And it almost seems like, well, now that we have a lawman here, we can kind of pull him in as well as our own lawman. He can enforce our laws. So it seems like Pearlie might get pulled into the mix too at some point.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
But, yeah, I'm just talking about it now and kind of breaking it down. I'm kind of like, I can I kind of hope we get another season now. Not just so I can come back to covering the show, but just to watch it because I actually really do like these characters. So
that's pretty cool. The Dama reveal.
It's so funny. I'm looking at my notes, and I did have a name in my notes for that zombie that Maggie faces, and it wasn't Walker King. It was Zombie Combo Meal.
That's funny.
That's how I have it listed in my notes.
I have it as like Cribs Keeper / aliens.
So can we talk about that horrific, wonderful amalgamation of walkers now? Is that where we're at?
We can talk about it since I brought it up. I mean, like I'm still not so funny because that walker, like,
arms flailing.
We see it crawling towards Maggie, and I'm like, "Oh, Maggie, like you're stuck." But it's just one walker. You can get out of
just
it.
Like knife it.
And then it stands up, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah. I think I said it was like an actual holy shit moment. I was just like, holy shit. And one of my dogs was on top of me and I scared the shit out of him. Like he leapt off. And my first thought was, I was like, is that 3 heads? Like I immediately went Greek mythology and Cerberus, the 3-headed dog that guards Hades. And at that point, this is just how my ADHD brain works. Like, Cerberus making sure the dead do not escape, preventing the dead from leaving. Whereas in this case, this horrific walker was preventing the living from leaving. And I could not get over it. When the one walker head kind of pushed through the decomposed torso.
Well, that kind of...
Yes,
because we see that a couple times throughout the episode. We kind of see like hands moving through stomachs, and it's they're preparing us for this walker.
Oh.
We just don't know it until we see it.
Yep, didn't see it coming. That's for sure.
The heat, like they just like melted together, and they're like
awesome.
And then that mountain of fat.
Yeah.
Oh, that was gross.
Yeah, because it takes you a second to realize once you get over the shock of seeing this thing, like, no, this is not a mutant zombie. This is basically 3 zombies that have just kind of melted
together. Yeah.
Well, the way they had it move, when it almost looked like spider-like with the arms coming out of this, that was some horrific imagery, but it was so cool. Yeah. The whole time I was just like, God, I love this show. Like that.
Even Maggie was like, what the fuck is this?
Leave it to New York City to give us what, in my opinion, is probably one of the coolest walkers we have gotten in any Walking Dead episode.
Now, did either of y'all play Last of Us?
Oh, come on.
Okay. Well, I know. I don't want to say too much about Last of Us Part 2, but if anybody has played, you know exactly.
I haven't gotten Part 2 yet.
No spoilers on Part 2.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I will not say anything else, but if you have played it, then I'm sure that you know what this made.
Well, I mean, and what I really appreciated about the fact that they gave us this zombie too was that, like I mentioned, they gave us little clues as to how this walker came to be. They didn't just throw us at it, or they didn't just throw it at us for the sake of this is a mutant zombie. Like,
that's true.
They gave us the little hints and the little details that explained how this walker is the way it is. So, like, the fact that they did that, I really appreciated as well. It made me appreciate the walker even more.
Yes.
They showed it in the promos. In the promos, they showed, like, something mutiny was going to happen. So, the way where my brain went was, since New York City was probably one of the first, it was an epicenter, I thought, maybe this is a New York variant, because we got a snippet of the variants, on Walking Dead proper. So I thought maybe this was some kind of radioactive, like, super variant walker. So when we finally saw it, and then just feeling like you could feel the heat and then just the squishing noises as they like walk through the tunnels. Like it really, it was really good effect seeing the crypt like keeper come up, from Tales from the Crypt. The crypt keeper from Tales from the Crypt like came from the back, and then the alien coming into the stomach. I was like, oh my god, this is great.
Well, and one of the other things about this scene too is because it is towards the end of the episode, it's literally the moment right before we get the big twist.
Dun, dun, dun.
Of what this season, what is actually happening in this story is that like you get that moment where this walker comes down on Maggie, she takes out all 3 heads of this mutant walker, and you're like, okay, Maggie, you've just solidified it. You're still a badass bitch. Yeah. And then you get to the end and you're like, oh, I'm going to emphasize the bitch part of that now. Like I've emphasized the badass part, but now I'm emphasizing the bitch part.
Can I go ahead and start on that point?
I want to say this. So that since that is the end of the episode, I kind of want to make that our final point because we'll talk about that before we move into it. So does anybody else have any other points they want to bring up before we talk about the big twist of the end of the episode?
I don't think so.
No, not a full-on point. I have notes, but not on a full-on point.
Yeah, we'll do the little quick notes. We can save them for afterwards. But Rebecca, take us in. Let's talk about the big twist.
Woo, I knew it. I felt it in my bones. Maggie didn't just want Negan's help. She is delivering him for Herschel's ransom, basically. I went on one of the Mark hosts like Friday night watch parties, and I was able to make one, and it was just me, him, and Sydney. And so we're watching it, and I kept saying, like, I don't know, Maggie's up to something. And Sydney's like, what? She just needs help to get Herschel. I'm like, no, I think she's delivering Negan because she's hiding something. And, because that's when we saw Ginny. We were like, why is she obsessed with what I thought was the water tower, but it was the silo that, they made a point of the silo and the bread. She didn't want to eat the bread. And then that's when she decided to escape. So we saw now at the end, she actually climbed up into the silo and saw that it was full. So that's when it really solidifies to her, Maggie is not doing what she says. She's a liar. And she wrote it in blood. And I thought, the way that was shot was so good.
That was nice.
So now, so Maggie obviously wants her kid back. And I'm sure in her mind, she's like, well, I'm delivering this monster. So, this is a win-win. I can get rid of this monster, get him off my hands, and save my son. But then when she sees, that Negan's been helping Ginny and actually agrees to help Maggie in a way. And I think she was going to try and tell him, because remember when before they were going to take out or execute their plan, she was like, I have something to tell you. And then when she sees Luther's, his beeswax bomb, whatever, in Negan's pack, then, she puts 2 and 2 together that Negan...
Like, oh, never mind.
Luther.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. She's like, wait, no, you're still an asshole. Never mind. I'm not going to tell you now.
See, I always thought in that moment, I thought it was about Ginny, but you might be right. It might have been what actually the ultimate plan is.
Yeah. And so, so I felt all along she's, and especially when she told Tommaso, when she was outing Tommaso, and she's like, what, did he cut you a deal? I'm like, oh, that's because you got a deal, girl, because you got a deal, and you're executing your plan to carry out your deal. That's how, in my mind, Maggie was like, you can't beat a player at their own game. I feel like that's what she was trying to tell Tommaso, because she had her ulterior motives. But yeah, I knew it in my bones. She just wasn't out of all people, the person you hate the most, why are you gonna ask them for the help? It just never really added up to me. Unless she's delivering him for a reason. And my thought was that the Croat wanted revenge, on Negan, but now we're seeing it's for some other reason.
It might be for recruitment, And what's interesting about this too is that I don't remember who it was, but somebody else within the past episode or two also made the prediction that this is possibly what it could be, that it could be Maggie is actually delivering Negan. Because I remember somebody bringing it up on one of the episodes and being, oh, that would be interesting if that's the case, if that actually plays out. And now that's exactly what we have.
I was like, ding, ding, ding. That's what I think too.
And what I like about this twist is, first off, when it was revealed to me, even though I always knew in the back of my mind it was potentially a possibility, I was still, oh shit, like like this is a cool little twist. But now I have more questions because one, now this kind of puts Maggie in shades of gray.
Oh yeah,
she's gone from there's light, there's dark, and there's shades of gray. She's always been in the light. I'm not saying this puts her in the dark, but she is now absolutely in the shades of gray because it's okay. You are on one hand, you are manipulating and lying to someone to get something that you want. But on the other, this man murdered your husband and the father of your child. So do you have a right to do this? Now we're in another moral quandary where it comes when it comes to Maggie. But again, this is going back to my point of bridging the gap between the two of them. You've pulled Maggie into the same shades of gray that Negan has been in. This entire
It made me feel better about the series as a whole, because when it first started out, I was just like, why the hell is Maggie going to get Negan? Like, this is just convenience for the plot. Like, she doesn't need him
just to team them up.
Yeah, but now it makes so much more sense, and I can accept what they are doing with Negan's character now that we see what they're doing with Maggie's character simultaneously. Because look, like, so much gray, like, and the flashbacks to Glenn not only reminding us the horrific things that Negan did, but what Maggie experienced and why she has so much hatred for this man. And, it wasn't too long ago where Negan had essentially communicated to her that he'd do the same thing again. So,
and he would have killed all of them if he had done it again.
Well, and it makes you conflicted. It makes you conflict. It's a twist that makes you conflicted as an audience member, because when you pull Maggie into the same shades of gray that Negan is in now it's like, well, how can I hate Negan and not hate Maggie for the same exact thing? Like, if I hate one, I have to hate the other one now, don't I? Because they're just as morally corrupt as the other person. Because they have good and bad too.
But Maggie's child is on the line. That's where I go back to. Her kid is on the line. Negan did what he did out of the need to, dominance, control, all of this display of power. Whereas what kind of mother would not do anything to get their child back and save their child?
That's what I was going to say. But as a mama myself, I don't care who the fuck I got to deliver, but I'm going to deliver to you. That means I'm making my babies back. And that's just like, to me, there is no question. Like, I don't care if you think I'm moral or not, but these are my babies. And I don't care. If you gotta take my husband, take my husband. Like, maybe not that extreme, but like, I will deliver whatever you want so I can get my babies back.
You're gonna burn the world for the protection.
Yeah.
You'll burn down the world for the protection of your child.
For me.
But on the other hand, and not to defend or go against what you're saying, because I completely agree with you on that as well. I would be the same way as a father that you would be as a mother when it comes to my child. On that note, Negan is also doing this for the protection of Ginny. Like, that's why he agreed to do this to begin with. He's the moral quandary with Maggie comes to the fact that she is hiding Ginny from Negan. She, again, it goes to the point I made in earlier episodes.
She doesn't want to distract Negan. She wants Negan to stay on the course.
And in essence, that is sacrifice child for the sake of her own.
Because she's not worried when she can't find Jenny because she's worried about her safety just because of the sheer goodness of her heart. She's just like, there's my leverage.
Right. She doesn't want Jenny to get to Negan, and then her plan goes to shit.
Exactly. It's sacrificing one child for the sake of another, which, yes, that other one is your own child. But do you have the right to sacrifice another child to save your own?
Yeah. I mean, I would burn the world down for my kids. Now, when I feel like shit the rest of my life for doing that, of course, I'm going to I have a conscience, so I'm going to feel some level of guilt or, but, in my mind, it's going to be that I did everything I could to protect my kids. And so that's just some guilt. It's a guilt that I would have to live with the rest of my life. Yeah. And with Maggie right now, I mean, she has no connection to Ginny. So she's almost like, whatever, like it's all about my kid. Yeah, it sucks for Ginny. I tried to do what's best for her, but she didn't do her part. So now I just need her to keep her away from Negan so that Negan can stay on course. Because, of course, as soon as Negan sees Ginny, he's going to want to take care of her and send her back to the bricks or whatever. So then he'll be compromised.
All right. So that brings me to two other questions that kind of came to my mind about this whole twist. The first one is I don't think it's easy to answer either one of these, but because I don't think there is an answer to them yet, at least not yet. Was it always Ginny's plan to go to New York to find Negan, or did that become the plan when she realized that Maggie was lying?
I think that became the plan when she realized Maggie was lying.
I think she just wanted to, that's my thoughts, is that she literally just did not want to be at the bricks. She was going to go off on her own. But when she found out that Maggie was lying, she had to go find Negan.
She wanted to go save Negan, essentially. Yeah.
She trusted Negan enough, clearly, to listen to him and do what he had told her. So I think that was the only thing that could have motivated her to disobey him, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, just to go save him. Yeah.
And then my other question, and this is the more interesting one, because this is the one I really hope we find it. If we don't get an answer to Ginny's journey, I'm okay with that. This one, I need an answer. If now that we know this was the plan, that the Croat went to Negan, held Herschel hostage so that she would deliver, or went to Maggie, held Herschel hostage so that she would deliver Negan to the Croat. If we look at this whole scenario, the Croat very clearly knows about the bricks because he mentioned it. He promised it to Tommaso. What was the relationship between the Croat and Maggie before this moment? Because it very clearly was not he was taking half their rations. Like Maggie said. What was their relationship before this? Because she's been lying about it the entire time. Was he somebody that she traded with? Was he somebody that she worked with? I want to know what their true relationship was before this, because I don't know if we can believe anything Maggie said about it now.
Well, and I just want to know what the Croat knew, because clearly with him being at the sanctuary, he knew Maggie was the widow. So, I mean, I could see her kind of making a deal with the devil to keep her home safe after everything that happened at Alexandria, at Hilltop, being motivated even more to protect her people. So maybe they were trading and something came up in New York City that we aren't aware of yet with this kind of warring gang situation that the Croat realized he could use her to get to Negan.
Yeah, I fully believe that he took advantage of a situation, but I just want to know what their relationship was before.
I know.
Because I don't know if I can believe what it was now.
More seasons.
Right?
Yeah.
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 In my head, I think that, because the Croat is resourceful. He has resources. So I have a feeling they were probably just scouting the area and I want to say happened upon Maggie's establishment. It was like, hey, I remember you. And then probably that's where he came up with, well, if I want Negan, maybe she's a good tool. And the ultimate way to get her to get on board is to take her kid. But
because I don't think she knew who he was. It
didn't seem like she knew much of the Croat. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I have more questions now than I had before because of this.
You're right. We need the answer.
Yeah, we need it. Hopefully, we're going to get it in the finale. We'll see. Any other points to this twist before we go on to like final notes and move on?
I mean, I came to appreciate Ginny's character a hell of a lot more. I'm invested even more now.
I don't believe now that, because I made the prediction before, the possibility that one of the men that Negan killed was her father. So he was protecting her out of guilt. I don't know if I believe that as much anymore.
Yeah, I feel like that would be really twisty and weird. Yeah.
Well,
it would be almost like, what's it called? Like Stockholm Syndrome, kind of. Like, would be weird that she would want to save the man who potentially killed her father.
And that's just it. The fact that she wants to find Negan because she knows that Maggie's lying, I'm kind of written off now that one of the men he killed was her.
Yeah.
So, it's just Negan having more of a soft spot for kids.
Yeah, exactly. Any other little notes before we move on to the rest of the podcast?
Don't think so.
Oh, how are we bottling oxygen in the apocalypse? That's what I want to know.
How long does bottled oxygen
pressurized
last?
Oxygen? Like, I know there's an expiration, and it's definitely less than 15 years. So, how are we bottling oxygen? That's something I need to know.
I mean, if they could figure out how to get fuel from rotting corpses, maybe they could figure that out.
I guess.
It's so funny that you bring this up. Because one of my lingering questions that I didn't think about until you brought it up was, how is the alcohol in that first aid kit still that potent after 15 years?
That shit would have evaporated.
Because alcohol evaporates.
On that. Yeah, there would be nothing on that.
And two, what kind of first aid kit has a bottle of alcohol in it?
Yeah, that was a suspension of disbelief.
Yep, put it up there.
Sure.
I mean, these are little nitpicks. It didn't affect my thoughts on the episode at all. It just made me chuckle. I was like, I'm pretty sure if there even was a bottle of alcohol, it would have been empty. Because it would have evaporated.
Unless it's being supplied also by the Croat and his science skills. So,
yeah.
Oh, if that's the case, I do not want to pour that alcohol on any wound that I have.
Oh my gosh.
You're basically infecting yourself automatically.
I mean,
it's gonna make it
worse. Depends how distilled and clean he can get it, but that's neither here nor there.
I'll leave that to the experts.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I had just some funny, because Ginny doesn't talk, and so I feel like in my head I filled in a lot of her dialogue. So like when Tommaso and Amaya were like, "Oh, who's the kid?" And Maggie's like, "Oh, she's with me." In my mind, Ginny was like, "Bitch, no, I ain't." Like,
No,
you see Ginny's face, like, "No, I'm not. I'm not with you."
Oh
and then when and then the other one I filled in was like when Maggie was outing Tommaso, I felt like Ginny was like, this bitch has the audacity to call out this guy when she's doing the same shit. So like, I just filled in that like script in my head. And then again, when like Maggie again was outing Tommaso, I feel like Maggie was like, you can't beat a player at their own game. So that's what she knew. Like,
I'm sure Ginny has a very rich inner monologue going on.
I'd love to hear it now, though. After all this,
for sure.
Like her face was like, not like, oh, Maggie.
Someone needs to create.
And Ginny's like, no, I'm not.
Someone needs to create an audio track of Ginny's inner monologue to play over the episode.
So I have to say that the actress, well, speaking, and I feel like she still says a lot with her very subtle facial expression. So I can appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's a skill for sure.
So that was just some funny tidbits that I had written down.
The only other thing I have on my end too is the introduction of the floating docks at Chelsea Piers. And the only reason I bring this up is because I'm not aware of these floating docks. I've been to Chelsea. I am not aware of these, but I've never been to Chelsea Piers. They could exist.
They may or may not be real. They could not exist. I mean, it makes sense for like some kind of emergency plan. Like if you did need to evacuate the island, I mean, that's true. On the safety side, something that would make sense. But
when, what's his name? Pearly pulled out that very clean, crisp looking pamphlet, even though he worked for the city and would presumably know all of this already. I was like, that's kind of funny. Like that's interesting. But the pamphlet, I guess, I saw it as it could have just been to convince Negan that he's not full of shit. He's not pulling his leg or anything. He's dead on.
Or maybe Pearly saw it and it reminded him, like, oh wait, I have this knowledge, and then maybe it just kind of came back to him. I'll
be honest with you. I was kind of, with my knowledge of New York, I was kind of hoping they were on their way to Battery Park and not Chelsea, because then it would have been the lead-in to the Statue of Liberty moment that I've been predicting might happen at some point. Like, that's where they were going to go.
Did you notice when Pearly and Negan were in the souvenir shop, Negan had a Statue of Liberty that he was just kind of
He's going to get there eventually. If not in the finale, it's going to be in another season.
Too much foreshadowing.
They have to.
They've been feeding us that it's going to happen.
Maybe the Dama wants her and Negan to live up in the crown. Live up in the torch.
Now I want to call her Darlene. I'm writing that down. Dama is no longer Dama. She is now Darlene.
Darlene.
That's her real name. Dama's just her diva name.
Yeah, it's her stage name. Stage name.
Any final notes before we head into the break?
Nope.
Oh. All right, cool. So then, with that said, after this awesome conversation, we are going to take a break, and we will be back. And it is time for the news.
Infected news.
I know. I still love that sound clip.
I love it.
There's quite a bit this week, actually, as opposed to the last couple. Both Walking Dead related and Last of Us related. The first news comes to us from Digital Spy. The Walking Dead's Daryl Dixon spinoff finally has its premiere date. Daryl will be making his way across to France in September. AMC posted on their social media channels that Daryl would be storming France on September 10th, with the post including several new stills and an official poster for the series. The series sees Daryl wash ashore in France and struggle to piece together how he got there and why, journaling across a broken but resilient France as he hopes to find a way back home. The connections he forms along the way complicate his ultimate plan. So, and we also know Melissa McBride is also going to reprise her role as Carol in the series as well, which I don't know how that's going to happen, but
I almost don't like that was spilled out there. I wish they had kept that under wraps.
Yeah. I do too.
It's true.
And I do know that while Jason is not a fan of this Dead City because of his feelings of Negan, he is very excited for Daryl Dixon. And he will be back to hosting the show for that as well. So there's that. In regards to a season 2 of The Walking Dead, Dead City is another season happening. After a strong debut, fans are loving The Walking Dead, Dead City. Well, that could be questioned. Does that mean there will be a second season? Let's see. Dead City is the first of 3 new spin-offs. We know that as ready. Dead City continues to perform well. The show has an 86% certified fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, as well as a 7.7 out of 10 rating on IMDb. With the season finale coming up on July 23rd, it seems all but certain that the show will return for a second season. In fact, it's quite possible that news of a renewal will come from San Diego Comic-Con, as the Walking Dead universe has a 2-hour panel, which, as of now, I don't believe that is happening now.
Yeah.
I think that panel has actually been canceled because this article was published 3 days ago. I probably should have looked at that before I posted this. So not sure that news is going to come out of San Diego now because I think that panel has been pulled due to the writer strike and the actor strike. So, but we'll see. But moving on to Last of Us news. This comes from Deadline. Last of Us co-creator Craig Mazin provides a season 2 status update, rules out another Bill and Frank type episode, which is a bummer, and reveals season 3 plans.
Ooh.
HBO's Emmy-nominated The Last of Us was renewed in January, shortly after the adaptation of the video game premiered, quickly becoming a pop culture phenomenon. By May 1st, when the writer's strike began and script work was put on hold, the new season had already taken shape. Last of Us co-creator, executive producer Craig Mazin told Deadline in an interview tied to the series' big showing on Emmy nominations day, confirming the new writers who had joined him and fellow co-creator Neil Druckmann for season 2. Mazin says, "We got pretty far, actually. Neil and I had been sitting and talking with Holly Gross, who also worked on the second game as a writer, and Bo Shim, the new writer that was in our little tiny room with us. Obviously not a mini room because we're greenlit the proper." Okay, he's joking around. We know what the whole season is, and I was actually able to get a write and submit the first episode right before the deadline hit. So now I'm just walking around kind of brainwriting. Which is weird. 2.5 months into the writer's strike, however, and a day into the actor's strike, there's still a possibility for season 2 to make its original delivery date, Mazin said. We had a little more flexibility, I think, than normally, just because we had to wait a little bit longer anyway to line up production with the weather. A lot of what we do is outside, so we had to schedule that weirdly. So we had a schedule that weirdly hasn't been immediately impacted, but we're getting pretty close. So as of right now, because filming of the first season actually it kicked off in 2021 in July. So as of right now, they're still hopefully on schedule to get us season 2 when they wanted to. That's pretty much the rest of the gist of this episode or this article. There's always let's see. Season 1 introduces us to a slew of. This article goes on, but I apologize. Introduces us to a slew of memorable characters who appeared for 1 or 2, 3 episodes before dying. Could we see any of them back in flashbacks next season? Mazin says there's always a chance for everything. With us, you never know, and we obviously don't confine ourselves by timelines. People who are dead sometimes reappear, and sometimes we meet people that didn't even know. That we didn't even know, and then we find out they're somebody. What you won't see, for instance, is another very special episode with Bill and Frank. We aren't going to milk it. Okay, so we just won't get any more with those two characters. When we do something that we think is, when we do something that we think is beautiful, we let it be as is, and we find other beautiful things to do, which makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's another article? This is the fun one. This is the last article, and this is the one I was really excited to talk about. HBO's The Last of Us makes history as the first live-action video game adaptation nominated for major awards. So anybody who doesn't know, The Last of Us has been nominated for 24 Emmy Awards. And actually, of the 24 nominations, I have the list. I'll go through a majority of the big ones. Outstanding music composition for the episode Long, Long Time. Obviously, outstanding lead actor in a drama series for Pedro Pascal. Outstanding lead actress in a drama series for Bella Ramsey. Outstanding guest actor in a drama series for Murray Bartlett as Frank. Also one for Lamar Johnson as Henry. For Nick Offerman as Bill. And probably what is one of the coolest ones is Kevon Montreal Woodward as Sam.
Sam, yeah.
Wow.
I'm rooting for Offerman because I said after that episode, Offerman's going to get his first. Because I remember being on that was one of the episodes of The Cast of Us I was on was for a long, long time. And I think I said it on that episode. I was like,
I remember you saying that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I said Offerman's going to win an Emmy
And
for
I
this
think
episode.
everyone agreed with you.
Yep.
Yes.
But I also don't like rooting against a kid.
I know.
These Emmy nominations are very conflicting. Like, it's so much good stuff.
Yeah.
He
but,
has his whole career ahead of him. He'll be good.
Very, very true.
That's true.
Very
That's true.
Outstanding guest actress from Melanie Linsky is Kathleen. Outstanding guest actress for Storm Reed as Riley. Guest actress Anna Torv as Teresa. Outstanding directing for a long, long time. Outstanding drama series, picture editing, sound editing, contemporary hairstyling, sound mix. It's the list is ridiculously long. Outstanding writing, prosthetic makeup, and I love it. I love every single one of them.
Wow.
24
awesome.
Nominations. It is the second most of any other series, only to Succession, which I think had 26 or 28. So HBO cleans up at the Emmys, man.
Mm-hmm.
They
got that
do.
HBO money.
Yeah, they really do. And of course, there's Where's the Walking Dead's Emmy nominations.
Oh gosh.
It's the only series right now that's eligible is Fear. And do you really want to give one to Fear? That's not. That doesn't work.
No.
An Emmy for the show no one wants to watch. Yay.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess they don't have a Razzie equivalent for Emmys because
it would deserve it.
Yeah.
It would absolutely deserve it. But let's move on. Let's get to the feedback of the episode with listeners' moans, groans, and grunts. A little bit of feedback, which I always appreciate, even though I know not everybody's into this series, but I appreciate everybody writing in for it. Rebecca, why don't you kick us off?
Yes. So Bob Oakes says, I'm not loving this series. It's not nearly as bad as Fear, but I'm still having a hard time getting into the series. It just leaves me a little flat, and I'm not sure why.
That is perfectly okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a right to feel how they feel about the series. That's, again, we talked about it. The divisiveness of these characters in this story is one of the things I love about it.
Mm-hmm.
But Bob, you're still watching.
Yeah, so that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
That's what matters.
Yeah, and you took the time to comment, so
that's true.
Exactly.
So Christy from Australia said, "Hi guys, loving your recaps on Dead City and the show itself, of course. I just wanted to throw another theory in the mix. Is it possible Ginny saw or knows Negan killed her father and she plans to kill him? What else would drive her to do a suicide mission rowing a cooler to Manhattan?" That was funny. I think she was biding her time on the mainland because she knows what he is capable of. This would also explain why she doesn't talk. It is also possible the reason she hugged Negan was because he was treating her better than her own father was. Looking forward to see how all the stories pan out. So I'm assuming she's implying that her father and her did not have a good relationship and Negan killed her dad to protect her.
Possibly. I think this was also my ongoing theory that I mentioned before is that, you know, they're together. She's adding the additional element, though, that Ginny knows that Negan did it. I don't know if I buy the whole that's why she's going to New York now, though.
Yeah. To kill him.
Like
she wants to kill him herself. Yeah,
I think it's more to protect Negan because she knows that Maggie's lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's out of loyalty.
Yeah, that's where I'm at on Ginny now too. So, all right. Next up from Sean. Good evening, leaders of the Zedhead community. What an awesome episode, but it feels like they're really not getting to where they need to get to. Kind of like the Commonwealth story, but at least Pearlie is starting to be a little bit more relatable. Maggie was giving me major Lara Croft vibes in this episode. Also, how long do you have to survive in a zombie apocalypse to know not to lie on a pile of walkers, dead or alive?
Right?
It might have actually been Sean that I mentioned before that made the comment about, like, how long have you been in this to know?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It also seems like they're really trying to make Maggie out to be the bad guy here, confirming the theory that she's using Ginny to keep Negan around. I'm thinking she's either going to use Ginny to force Negan to turn himself into the Croat, or use Negan as a bait and switch like Negan did with Lydia to kill Alpha. That could be interesting. Only one more episode to go. Don't get bit. The whole feeling like they're not getting to where they need to get to, I feel like that's because they're setting up for further seasons.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to give us a complete payout to everything by the end. They're setting up more.
I agree. Yep.
So.
All right. So Alma Contreras says, so Tommaso gave them up. Nice little twist I totally didn't see coming. I was wondering why everything seemed like they were set up from the jump, and Maggie didn't burn the mono, which is Spanish for doll. But why hasn't she given it back to Ginny? I thought it was funny Maggie was talking shit about Negan, meanwhile holding onto that mono in her backpack. Dude, this girl is not going to trust a word that comes out your mouth. The sewer scenes were nasty. I could not imagine the smell. Ugh. Oh, snap. Rest in peace, Amaya and Tommaso. This new chick is the real boss and not the Croat. Ooh-wee. And the plot thickens with only one episode left. Oh my God, I knew it. Maggie was double-crossing Negan all along. Can't wait to hear y'all's thoughts. P.S. A mono in Spanish is a stuffed animal. LOL. Just in case you were wondering what I was talking about. I got you, girl. I got you, Alma.
That's awesome.
Oh, man. I love it.
Those were my thoughts exactly too, Alma.
Yeah, pretty much. Spot on. Sim Steps said, hi, Podcastica team. Thank you, of course, for friendly discussions, making stuff more fun to watch. I watched Silo, even though I read all the books so I could follow the podcast. Please let me add my vote to 2 upcoming series, also based on huge best-selling books. There's the US/Netflix version of Sci-Fi Three-Body Problem. I'm going to butcher that name. Lou Chizin, maybe? Made by the Game of Thrones, Benioff and Weiss. The teaser looks great. Also, the FX big budget remake of James Cavill's Shogun. Both coincidentally mixed Western/Asian production/cast. The original Shogun won Emmys, Globes, and Peabody. Hope the new lives up to that. Touch wood. I like that. Knock on wood. An episode or 2 on these would be so interesting. Deep psycho-socio thrillers with culture clashes and paradoxes. Okay, that's all. Thanks again.
Okay, so not feedback on Dead City, but for potential other series for podcasting to cover, and I like that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said knock on wood because I did not know what touch wood meant.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that because I was funny. Like, what is touch wood? Did they mean torchwood? Like, what is
torchwood?
I don't know what they meant.
Yeah.
So, and we have one from Karen Shee, who has been on the podcast, and I love her feedback because she always adds some great insight. And this one's rather lengthy, but we're going to read it anyway.
Yep.
I wish I liked this series more than I do. I feel like the set design and production designs are awesome, but the writing isn't keeping up. Completely agree on the production design and set design.
Mm-hmm.
The visuals are above and beyond the script and characters, especially since I still don't feel too much for Ginny or Pearlie. New York City remains the most dazzling character here. Style over substance. Again, I feel like the overarching pacing has been weird. I wish they spread out all the different reveals about Tommaso, Maggie, and the Dama over the last 3 episodes. The revelation that Tommaso made a deal with the Barazzi fell kind of flat, especially since he and Amaya died a few minutes later. Also, you're telling me that the people who survived 12 years into the ZA died that way?
I'm telling you.
Elijah May said that the whole point of those 2 characters was to show Maggie that, like Tommaso, Negan does whatever it takes to stay alive. I didn't buy it. I wish that Tommaso and Amaya, I like shipping them now as Tamayo. Tommaso and Amaya died in a fight with the King Walker. That thing was gnarly and so imaginative. Yep.
Yes.
It deserved more screen time. It deserved more screen time and could have made Tommaso and Amaya go out in a blaze of glory. Talk about nerfed. Talk about a nerfed character. Maggie took out the King Walker with relative ease. Cool homage to Escape from New York with the theater scene, though. I love that Maggie is drifting into darker territory, figuratively. I wish she would be even more villainous, but I wanted to ponder with y'all about whether or not Maggie has forgiven more people than she's proactively killed. Let's see. Season 5, she forgave Tara after finding out that she was with the governor in the battle that killed Herschel Sr. Then, later in the season, she overhears Gabriel selling out Rick's group, but still helps him in the final episode. Season 6, she knows that Nicholas has tried to kill Glenn, but didn't report him.
Ugh.
Season 7 and 8, Maggie gave Gregory chance after chance, even though he betrayed Hilltop. Season 9 forgave the blacksmith Earl after he tried to kill her and injured Enid. Season 11 didn't forgive Negan, but tried working with him for the overall good of their communities. Great examples, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost more frustrating that Maggie's forgiven all these folks, but I guess she's being tactical. She uses Negan to her advantage and now as a bargaining chip. I really can't think of any instance where Maggie struck first. Even letting Gage die was because he chose to leave the group and take all their supplies first. Or am I too much of a Maggie apologist? Sorry for such a long comment. I'm interested to hear what you guys thought about this episode. I didn't love it, but you guys may help me appreciate it more. Yay, Ben, Rebecca, and Kara. Thank you for that.
I love it. And yes.
I feel like the only person she truly forgave out of that list would be Tara. Because we all, I think everything else was more of her not wanting to let herself turn into, this immoral character. And I think Glenn was kind of her better half. And especially once Glenn died, she didn't want to let him down.
Yeah.
And,
because he was so caring and merciful and he's like, well, if he couldn't be mad at Nicholas, then Maggie couldn't be mad at Nicholas either.
But a lot of those examples that Karen gave us too, which as I mentioned were great examples, are also they kind of show us that Maggie has kind of always been living in the gray.
Yeah. Well, we know what she did to Gregory.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But now we're just kind of really seeing it.
Mm-hmm. And I think maybe she just got tired of forgiving people and then still ending up in the same cycle with other people. So now she's just like, fuck it. Like, you cross me. Like, I'm done with you, kind of. She's just probably just done with it. She's just calloused over and just can't be nice anymore. It's like you get one strike and that's it.
Yeah. She's on the offensive.
And you can't really blame her because she's been through a lot of shit, So
it's true.
Let's just say, look, I get it.
She's, no matter how you look at it, no matter whatever shade she's in, she's a survivor. I mean, and she's done it for this long. She's had her ways of doing it. Regardless, no matter what you think of Maggie, she is a strong character. And definitely. I just, shades of gray or not, she's...
At this point in the apocalypse, you're either a badass or a sociopath to survive, right? That's what we've seen. You're either a badass that can take care of your shit, you know how to defend yourself, or you're a sociopath that can manipulate women or manipulate people really, really well so that they kind of do the dirty work for you and you just kind of chill in the back.
Yeah, I'm not denying that at all. I see that absolutely.
Yeah.
But that leads us to, of course, a voicemail from our friend Steve Brown. And as I say every week, what's a podcast without a live Steving?
Without live Steve.
So here we go.
Hello, the cast of us. This is Steve, and this is for Stories We Tell Ourselves. Oh, she didn't burn the dinosaur. Hey, thank you, Tommaso, for the rundown of methane poisoning symptoms. And also, don't make a spark either. Did Maggie just say she said Negan wanted Jenny to stay at the Bricks? Is that what Hilltop is, or was that somewhere else here? That was clever. How do they know that was the door? I guess it looked like a refrigerator to me, but I guess it was a door to this building. Oh, so Tommaso betrayed them? Ooh, it's either a small dog or a really big rat they've just saw on the floor there. Ooh, Negan, I know you're desperate to escape, but just throwing a walker at the guy. Come on. Maggie just said it again, the bricks. That must be the name of the Hilltop 2.0, I guess. I think Maggie's starting to feel the symptoms of methane poisoning or whatever. Oh, man. Tommaso makes it through all that without getting bit, and then Amaya just sets in the wrong place, and she's gone. Oh, but it looks like he's bit this time, too, now. That was the craziest Broadway musical I've ever seen. Like, who is this woman now? I don't understand. Did they know Negan somehow was coming? Because now they're talking about that they need Negan for something. I don't understand. I understand why Maggie refused to take the air tank. It doesn't make any sense. Seriously, a bus that still has its first aid kit? I guess it's the island of Manhattan. Maybe nobody scrounged it. Okay. Stories we tell ourselves. He just said the title of the episode. Mic drop. I don't know if that speech was good enough to make me actually care about Pearlie now, though. We'll see. Okay, this walker is terrifying. What does it have? Another walker's body all mixed up with it, and hands and arms, and Maggie, like zombie centipede walker. Well, the silo was full of grain back at the bricks. So Maggie lied about them taking all their food. Mm-hmm. Are we going to see that Maggie made a deal with the Croat to bring Negan to him in exchange for Herschel? I see this struggle that's going on in this flashback right now. The Croat is the one who gave her the wanted poster of Negan. Ooh, okay, so I guess the season finale is going to be good.
Zombie centipede.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's better than the Walker King.
That's a new band name. I'm calling it right now. It's a new band name.
Zombie centipede.
I just see the R's failing.
Yeah, I know.
It was comical and terrifying.
Oh my gosh.
But thank you everybody for the feedback that you left, including the live Steving. It's great as always.